All right. Welcome to the Black Lions domain, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zachary Shiloh, and this is where Zachary Shiloh used to roam around the earth. I'm sorry for laughing during my intro. Something but we'll explain it later. All right, back to the intro. This is where Zachary Shala used to roam around the earth. Now it's better known as the place where universal grounding is partaken. Today's guest, or second guest, excuse me, second guest, I found her by way of one Abigail Sinclair, who happens to be a best-selling author from a book called Letters of Love. She's been known for the past few, God knows how long, to be kind of a PR specialist. So I was browsing around, I would say maybe about a month ago or two, just looking for guests. I needed fresh blood. I needed to just have something right. So I'm looking at this Rolodex and I said, okay, this is not a bad lot of people. Rona Lewis of the Bristles podcast was one of them. This gorgeous one over here from California. She's from that Rolodex too.
I'm
Hi.
actually from Chicago.
I don't care where you are. Anyways, this one, she was on that Rolodex, and I said, okay, I'm gonna actually look her up. And then I heard her name, and I was like, oh, Heather, okay, this is really good. And then I heard her podcast was called Brave Files. I said,
Yeah, the Brave Files. Yeah.
whoa. And then she's got something on the side called Brave in Action. I'm a real big fan of that.
Thank you.
Oh, God. So I was listening to her stuff, and I was like, yeah, she's spicy. I like her. Let's get her on Black Minds Domain. So I actually emailed her the exact morning that I actually heard her first one. And I said, hi, Heather. My name is Zachary Shiloh. I'm a fan of your podcast. Thank Abigail Sinclair for her Rolodex because I'm coming to actually invite you on my show. Thank you very much. And then we just hit it up, and here she is. All right, so best-selling author, podcaster, businesswoman, and much, much more. Heather Vickery, how you doing?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And I forgot to tell you during pre-show, if you got gray hairs, I think it's sexy.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, again, Abigail Sinclair, if you're ever listening to this, hon, thank you very much for your Rolodex, and I'm looking for more people. This wonderful soul has been going on 20 years. You've been doing your stuff.
Yeah, I've been an entrepreneur for, over 20 years, actually. Yeah.
Whoa.
I learned very quickly out of college that while I worked well with people, I did not work well for them. And I'm the daughter of two entrepreneurs. So I was like, you know what? I don't have to do any of this BS I don't want to do. Can I curse on your podcast, Zachary?
You can say it fully.
Okay, great. Yeah, I don't have to do any of this shit. Like I'll do what I want. I do what I want. Damn it.
Yeah, babe. I love you fully. Oh, God. All right, Heather, can you give my listeners your full background if you can?
Whoa. Man, I don't actually have my bio fully memorized, so we're just gonna wing it. I have this
Go
professionally
ahead.
written bio. I call myself a success coach, and I use that term really intentionally because I'm not a traditional business coach. I'm not a traditional life coach. I'm not a traditional mindset coach. We do all of these things merged together in what I call the Brave method, which is my creative strategic approach to problem solving, dreaming, designing, and building a life and a business that we are madly fucking in love with. And so I do that by coaching. I do group programs. I have a community geared towards other coaches, consultants, and strategists called the Brave Circle. I have books out, gratitude journals, my Create Brave cards for manifesting and keynote speaking, all of that fun stuff. And of course, I have two podcasts, both of the podcasts. And my goal is to help everyone embrace their own inner everyday bravery. What I mean by that is there are so many ways each day that we can make choices that are brave to us in that moment, even though they may not be traditionally thought of as brave. Making a sales call, writing something, putting a blog out, asking for a favor, saying yes, saying no, whatever. It could be anything. But when we recognize that they feel brave to us in that moment, we build upon it. It's the compound effect. We start to choose brave things more often. And then we are winning more often and getting those rewards more often. And it's contagious to everyone around us. So that's what I'm here to help people step up into, so that they can have a life and a business that they're madly in love with.
I love that mindset so much. It makes me want to continue my own business called Mind Over Matter Unlimited, my dear. If you're not hip to it, it is where health resurrection manifests. Life starts anew in the mind.
Absolutely.
What follows will awe you. And yesterday was 2 months in. I was in awe before I actually came home and a massive storm happened. I was just celebrating my business. I said, oh God, it's only been 2 months. It feels like it's been longer. My clients, they are wonderful human beings. 2 of them are in a forthcoming book with me. I was taking it in when I actually was looking at myself. I said, no way, this is not happening. I am in awe that I got these souls in that program with me, but they were just knocking it out of the park since day one. And they have lost weight. The only male, he's like about almost 240 pounds, I think now. Justin Hill, please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, his wife, Geneva, I believe she's near 200 and declining. And our dear friend, Paula Iverling. Hi, Paula, if you are watching or listening to this one. She's lost 4 pounds in, I say, the last week. So I'm just happy and grateful for them all. And we are in a group together, just chatting amongst ourselves, keeping each other highly motivated. And for me, that is a lot to be happy for and compensated. I'm not getting paid a penny yet because I want concrete evidence. I went through what I call the Black Lion's Roar, where I actually lost several pounds within a span of 2 months. My doctor gave me 3. Somehow, some way, I knocked it off by maybe 1 month. I want other people to go through what I've gone through. May they take what I've done fully, or may they say, okay, Zach, some of this stuff you don't really have to give me. I want either which way for them to say, all right, I'm going to stick with this guy. He's gone with some stuff. Let's see if he can actually get the results that he's looking for. And they've been giving me it so far. Now there's only an Australian publisher of mine. I'm looking for her to start a little bit more evening with the others.
All right.
But we shall see eventually. But I didn't ask for any compensation from them because I knew that they were each going through different things. And I just said, okay, you're serious about what you want to do with me? Let's go with it. And
all right.
now,
I will say that we deserve to be compensated for our time, our talent, our education, and our expertise. So.
Oh, yes, I do, hun. And I'm not waiting another 4 to 6. I'm not 4 to 6. Another 4 to 8 months. I'm not. I keep on seeing concrete evidence that what I went through has worked for me. These other Huns, they're going through whatever they're going through, and it's working. So do not be surprised if I say by October, right through maybe a year from now, I'm definitely compensating because I believe it's working.
Yeah, and absolutely. The other thing is, it's been my experience. I've been coaching for a really long time. People don't actually give it their all if they don't have any skin in the game. So, we're not really doing clients any favor by giving it to them for free because they don't value it.
Oh God, tell me about it. I actually had a few clients, like maybe last, and they were saying, "Oh, I can't do this, that, and the third." And I'm like, "Oh, Jesus Christ! If you actually were paying for this, you crazy hunts would be going harder than you are."
Mm-hmm.
But for some odd reason, because I felt like I was a failure, I said, "Okay, let's take at least 3 souls, give them it for free, and see if they can outlast the others that I had." Oh God, I'm just wow.
Mm-hmm.
God
Mm-hmm.
bless all, and I wish them nothing but the best, especially the eldest member of the group. Hi, Paula. Hi, Monica.
All right,
Uh,
Zachary. So what are we gonna do here today?
okay,
What's all
my
this excitement
dear.
about, my friend?
Okay, my dear. Oh, you already gave us your background. Oh, I see something beautiful right behind this gorgeous home. Uh, a book right behind her. Oh,
Ah.
what you want to talk about that, my dear?
Right. So I mentioned earlier that I'm the creator of the BRAVE method. BRAVE is an acronym. It stands for boundaries, what I call the 3 R's: reassessment, reframing, resilience, action and accountability, vulnerability, and then expand and empower. With the BRAVE method, the E, expand and empower, that's your result. The rest of it
And
doesn't have to be done in order, but it works with Brave, and Brave is my thing. And so this book, Fuck Fearless, Making the Brave Leap, which I did name Fuck Fearless very intentionally, because I think we fool ourselves when we strive for fearlessness. It's not real. It doesn't exist. We have fear. Fear is a natural human emotion. Sometimes it saves our lives, right? Fearlessness is for sociopaths and 3-year-olds. So fuck the idea of thinking you're supposed to be fearless. Instead, I want you to embrace being brave and how that can level up your life. So in my book, Fuck Fearless, Making the Brave Leap, I take you through the Brave method via case studies, personal stories, and then I give you actionable things that you can go out and do right now to get yourself started and moving through this. And I've done I've worked very hard to make it bite-sized and approachable. I believe that all great success comes from small intentional baby steps, as long as you've done the clarity work on the front end to know where you actually want to go and what you want to do. So we start with that big picture vision. I call it dreamscaping. And then we build it bit by bit. And you just do one little thing at a time. This does not have to be, you do not have to throw yourself in baptism by fire, right? You can just build it up, and you'll notice that you'll go. My Brave in Action, I think last week, was get that 500-yard view. Once you use those 3 R's and you reassess and you reflect and you look back on the last month or year or 2 years, you're going to be amazed at how much you get done.
yeah, that was the previous episode before today. Now that I remember it, you were
Yeah.
talking about just sitting down and reflecting on things.
Yeah. It's
I
really
have a
important.
habit of doing that quite
The
a
good
bit,
habit.
especially in the last week, I would say. Like you mentioned now that you're a best-selling author. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a 7 times bestseller
Congratulations. It's
by way of
exciting.
yeah, and I have some more books on. I was just sitting down all by myself and taking it. Like, I'm a 7 times bestselling author. Like, what is this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had to literally almost pinch myself, but I know it. I see it, and my clients, they like to remind me of it. They love to remind me, of it. Especially when Paula Iberling, again, she loves to make that known. Like, dude, you are a 7 times bestselling author. Don't you know that? And I said, yes. Yes, I do. And now I'm heading into the 8th. I say like less than a month and 5 days time.
Congratulations. That is definitely something to celebrate and honor.
Oh, yes, it is. And here's the crazier thing about that. Not only am I going for my 8th, but the 2 Huns that I mentioned, Paula Iberling and Geneva Hill, they're going in that book with me. And another dear friend of mine from the Blair Hayes Magic series by the name of Mayoko Fukino, who used to be my partner in what I call Mind Over Matter, when it was known as Fear the Love's Roar. I I said, wow, all of us are in a non-Blair Hayes book. Like, this is absolutely cool. And we all jazzed about it to some degrees or another, but we want to do something kind of like a Zoom call just to hype ourselves up for the actual launch. Matter of fact, last weekend was launch pre-sale version. So we were out there just promoting it, and I think I was going in harder than anybody else, but still, I loved it. I just sometimes really say to myself, yeah, I wrote all this stuff. Like, how is this my reality?
Yeah.
And
What's your system for writing books like that? Because
oh,
this book I did through NaNoWriMo. I wrote it in the month of November, and then I hid from it for a couple months, and then I spent a couple of months cleaning the edit up, and then a couple of months in intense developmental rewrite phase. And then, God, I felt like I edited it forever. Editing is a bitch. And then I'm promoted and promoted and promoted. It's it's a lot of work.
oh, okay. My way of writing. Okay, I used to get these things called in wildfire, spurts of wildfire, where I would actually do it like here, there, and then let it rest. And now, for the past year, that wildfire is called in Inferno. So I could just go like maybe hours or days, depending on how I'm feeling, and just write out. Like, for example, my sixth book is called Rebel Romance, or sixth co-author. The chapter is dedicated to a certain publisher that I call Polish. So I met her in early spring last year, and I was a fan of her YouTube content, like you. And I said, okay, she's pretty cool. And then I found out that she's actually the co-publisher of a group called Dark Quarks Publishing with my dear friend Janet Brent. So I'm getting kind of the crushes and Joneses for her. And then all of a sudden, Jan Brent tells me, oh, there's this book that I'm doing, Zach, called Rebel Romance. I thought it was an invite to read her Naughty Tales. So I'm getting the Joneses for Polish stuff, and I had nothing for Rebel Romance. Then I got it. I have a crush on Polish love. Let's write about her. Let's tell the world how sexy she is and how I want to do her and everything else. So I'm just writing it almost every single day for an entire month before the actual book itself got started. I told Janet Brent this, and she was like, what? You wrote your entire chapter before we even launched? That is amazing. And I told the actual Polish love too. I said, Sandra, I wrote about you every single day. Huh? And she was like, oh, that's very, very good. And then lo and behold, not only did my Polish love become my best-selling co-author again for the second time, she became my best-selling sixth chapter. I said, oh, great. This is awesome. But overall, my writing, I'm in awe of it. Sometimes I could just go hours just writing. It depends on my creativity.
Sure.
I love it. I love it. And I've done this exactly about like 8 times. 7 bestsellers, 1 flop. I mentioned the flop, and I don't mind sharing it. All right, so I was in this book called Overwhelming Us. Appropriate. There was a launch last month, and nobody was helping promote except for the writing community that I'm in, or writing communities. So I'm noticing the publisher and some of the other authors. They're mainly in the group chat amongst themselves, talking about the next book title, while I'm out there busting my ass from almost morning until night, And I said, oh. But luckily for them, we got out of the top 100 into like the top 95. And then the next morning, nothing's really hitting. I'm talking to my mentor, Blair Hayes, the almighty Blur himself, and my dear friend Veronica Sanchez-Doravas, who was in Ascension 2 and Letters of Love, asking them for advice. How can we get this baby to #1? Because they
there's a whole system. If you're talking about Amazon, there's a whole system.
Yeah, there's an entire system. I was trying to tell that to the publisher of that book. You want a bestseller, we got to get all of this going. And then I made the suggestion, let's, for 48 hours max, knock the price down to $1. That's it. And then somebody chimed in, oh, if
for the ebook. Yeah, for the ebook.
If somebody chimed in, oh, if we do that, that goes against everything we stand for. I said, excuse you? Excuse you? You can't just knock it down for 24 hours to 48 hours. So we can get this baby the bestseller like you want. I said, I'm out of here. Fuck this. I'm out of here. I made such a big stink. I do not regret it. And then some odd hours later, that same woman that actually chimed in with, oh, everything that we go against bothered me. And I said, goodbye, huh? And then every single hour I checked it to the bottom of the barrel. I said, that's what happens. Sorry. Bye. And I have no regrets.
There you go.
No, I was like what you said, fuck fearless.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really popular approach if you've got an ebook. And listen, I also understand people that you work really hard to write your books and you want to be properly compensated for it. But as a marketing component, I've done that for folks and I've bought their 99-cent ebook and I still buy the printed book because I don't actually like to read ebooks. I don't read them. So
that's fine by me, hon. I don't complain.
Yeah.
The only thing is that launch was so mishandled. They released the ebook and the paperback on the same day. So I think both kind of clashed with the algorithm, and that's why things were not going quite so well. I was in 6 previous ones, and the publishers, they did the e-release first, and then about maybe 7 days later decided, okay, let's go with the paperback, and it worked.
Interesting.
It absolutely.
I released my ebook and my hardback on the same day, and then I released the paperback 6 weeks later.
Oh wow!
On that
worked. Either which way, Heather, how does it feel to be a best-selling author? I've had numerous others on talk about it. Some people feel ashamed of the title because they're not being compensated, so to speak. So how does it feel for you, dear?
Gosh, I have a lot of sympathy for somebody who feels shame about being called a best-selling author. It feels fucking fantastic. Listen, do I wish it were New York Times best-selling list? Yes. We'll get there at some point with something. I have no doubt, zero doubt. I'm confident that it will happen. Just like I'm confident that I'm going to win an Emmy, but I don't know why or for what, but I just know it. It's a knowing in my soul. And my kids literally laugh. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, but I know what my dress is going to look like. Not to, we worked really hard to make best-selling, and we were in the top. We were bestseller in 6 categories, number 1 bestseller in 6 categories. We were top 10 in 9 categories, including women in business, which had things like Brene Brown in it, right? Like it was a big deal. We did really, really well. But it was a well-orchestrated machine, right? You got to work that system Because if people don't know you're there, they can't buy your book. They can't support you. They can't hire you. They can't come watch your live shows. They can't listen to your podcast. So marketing is really, really important.
Right on, babe. There was a point last year when I was done with getting my first bestseller.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I pulled Blair Hayes aside. And I said, Blairkins, I'm kind of insulted being the bestseller because I'm working in a warehouse, slaving myself near death, and nothing's going on. But then I'm talking to somebody else, like a Veronica Sanchez Ferraris, and I'm not feeling guilt for actually having the type of person.
Right.
Yeah, sure. We're not quote unquote heavenly compensated, but in my point of view, having that title signifies that your hard work paid off.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I have, so you can see them up here. I have 2 gratitude journals. One is for adults. It's called Shift Your Focus. And one is for kids and families called Grow Grateful. They're guided, talks about the science behind gratitude, my journey towards gratitude. They've got quotes in them that inspire and unique prompt, 180 different unique prompts to help you connect with gratitude in new ways. And Grow Grateful was also a bestseller. So, that was fun.
Also, you're 2 times best-selling author.
2 times best-selling author.
Oh, baby, I love you.
Yeah.
God. All right. So, my dear, you are a mother of 4, correct?
That is correct.
How does that factor into your business and general success, dear?
Gosh.
Don't be ashamed.
The only thing I always knew that I wanted to be was a mother.
Aww.
It was the only thing from the time I was a little kid, because I was going to be an actress, and I was going to be a singer, then I was going to be a doctor, then I was going to be a teacher, and then I was going to be a writer. I have an English and theater degree. I joke that I got a degree in bullshit. What I got a degree in, though, was in project management and communication. That's really what English and theater did for me. But I always knew I wanted to be a mother. And I think that's part of the reason that I went down this very traditional, stereotypical life path that society tells us we're supposed to go down. It's how I ended up being married to the wrong gender for a decade before I came out of the closet.
And you look so young for a queer.
Do queers normally look old?
Nah, not in your case.
I know.
Keep going.
I know lots of young queers. In fact, I have 4 daughters who would identify as young queers. Anyway, they are the reason that I was able to finally restructure my life, to get the divorce, to trust myself to go out and do my own thing, because I didn't want them to believe that they had to live a life that wasn't theirs, that they had to stay small and play small. And I knew that if I wanted them to want more for themselves, I had to show them how. Now, that is simplifying a multi-year process that I went through, but that's where I ended up. And so having children is the core of everything. I build my business hours around parenting. Boundaries that I've created are designed around it. And they think it's cool. At Halloween time, my ex decorated, I'm sorry, I hit the microphone. My ex decorated his house beautifully. And I said to my youngest, I said, "Oh, are you sad that I didn't decorate for Halloween this year?" I'm not much of that's not really my shtick anyway, but I do it if it's important to the kids. And she goes, "No, Mama, you made a book this year. I think you've been busy enough." And I said, "Oh, thank you." So, and my other daughter, who's now 16, when she was in, I don't know, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, she used to say, "Mama, I love having a celebrity as a mother, because when I miss you at school, I just Google you and I can find your picture." So I don't have the heart to tell her that I'm not a celebrity, but it's just really good SEO. So that's kind of fun.
Oh, I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
So I've actually featured women that are not only best-selling authors, but mothers. This year has been quite a year. I came out of the closet as a supernatural being last year in a book called Ascension Visionary Leaders. At the end of my chapter, I leave with my dear first fiance, Melma, who now is a mother to a autistic son.
Mm.
When we were together, we had a dream. We wanted to have kids. We got pregnant twice in 2007. She miscarried both.
Mm. I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's fine. When that happened, we cried. We started to grow apart a little bit because over time, I changed. I wasn't the same guy I was.
That happens, yeah.
And I had other reasons. And I'm looking upstairs. Because I think some degree or another, that energy bled onto my kids and they did not survive. And for years, I tried to tell myself, I'm not a father. I'm a failure. I'm a fuck up.
It's so hard.
Yeah, I didn't see myself as a father at all. I thought to be a father, you have to live and nurture with the living. I didn't see it until a dear friend of mine named Melissa DeVoe pulled me aside one day. I wanted Mel in the third letters of love, which is the final letters of love, according to Melly DeVoe. We were talking about her and her story, which happens to kind of be my story. So Melly said to me, you know that you're a father. I said, excuse me. Yeah, you're a father. Just because you lost your children doesn't mean you are not a father. And then I could feel it. I could feel it in me. She wasn't lying. It's the truth. I am a father. I have been a father for 15 years. I just hid myself. And it hurts me knowing some things about myself and knowing that my second wanted kids, but I told her no. I shut that idea down as we were ending our
because you didn't feel worthy or capable,
especially given how we were. I didn't want to bring kids into this world.
Yeah.
And once I found out that I was a father, then I started writing a letter to my children, basically laying out my origins, Mel's, how our dream was to happen. And the more I wrote, the more I remembered things, and the more I remembered things, I cried heavy for my dreams that died.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that I sit somewhere where many of my dreams.
Yeah.
But I had to learn how to forgive.
Forgiveness is huge. Forgiveness is huge. We talk about forgiveness. I talk about forgiveness in my book. It's the greatest gift we can give ourselves.
Yeah, and that's why I decided to join Letters of Love 3. May Mel had been a part of it, or may she had not. And I wanted her because she's got a journey that goes beyond this. And I thought if anybody should be in that book, she should. But it is what it is. So I wrote my letter, and it was so therapeutic.
Good.
More than any other Black Lions roar I told Melly DeVoe, here, read my letter. And then she read it and she said, this is maybe the most in-depth I've ever seen. It is way more you than Letters of Love 2. And then I showed it to other people and they were like, what? This happened to you?
Yeah.
I said yes. Every single
Yeah.
thing. From me being a type all the way to the end. That happened. And I don't regret it. I don't regret actually making love to my mom and having kids with her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, because that was our dream. I didn't care about my parents. I didn't care about anybody else. All I saw was my mom and me.
Mm-hmm.
I was willing to go as far as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And my life since then was a blessing, but at times I'm living. And this is the type of stuff that you would want on your show. And I'm not saying that to kiss your ass. I'm telling you this because it's my story. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold back my tears,
Yeah.
knowing every single thing that's happened to me since I was small. Everything.
Yeah.
But yet I still hold love for my family, even though I feel like they dissed me nearly 15 years ago when I needed their love the most.
Yeah.
But that didn't
Sorry,
mean
friend.
I didn't care about them.
Sure. It's complicated. Life and love are complicated. Families are complicated.
Yeah, but I didn't see anything wrong. I was 20 years old and I didn't know how much longer I had on earth. I wanted to know, okay, I could have kids or my parents would probably still be. Maybe we all can have something brand new. That's what my intentions were. Not to disrespect my parents, not to make anybody's life a living hell. I wanted something while I was still young and fertile to do so. And now that story will be coming out in October, 5 days after a erotica returns, called Rebel Romance Redux, which tells a story of a certain Irish who has blessed me in the past several months. So within 5 days, my last two books of the year, take away my solo book called In the Mystic Heavens, will be released. And when I see parents like you, it makes me even more proud of the lineage of my show because you all been, and I wish that I wasn't, but I am. I always have been. So for
You are worthy. You are lovable. You are loved.
yes, I am. And
You bring value to the world.
yes, I do. And when I was writing my book, I swear I could feel my kids. And I think one day at work, I was walking and I had this habit of kind of reading people's shirts. And I read somebody's shirt. And I think that was a sign from my kids that I was doing right by them. So, yeah, that's my life. And if you want more of me, I'll gladly come on Bright Files or whatever to talk about.
All right. We'll talk about it. We're taking a couple months off this summer, which
I
am really excited about. A little break. But yes, we will definitely stay in touch and make that happen.
Yeah. And all right. So we talked about that. I don't know what else to really talk about, Heather. I think we've done everything that my heart was set on.
Well, good. That's great. I'm glad
All
you
right,
got what your heart desired. Yeah, y'all come and check it out. If you are as enamored as our friend Zach is, or you want to know more, check out my live show every Wednesday. If you go to vickeryandco.com/social, you'll see all the links and you can follow me on social media and we'll get reminders. You can get on the email list. You can get a personalized signed copy of my book if you visit vickeryandco.com/social. It'll direct you to that, but you can also get it from all of the online stores. There, it's everywhere. And if you want a deck of Create Brave cards, you can find that on my website as well.
Okay, my dear. Now it's time for the last three pieces of this show.
All right, all right.
Your desires of the future, my dear Heather Vickery, are.
My desires of the future. I desire to continue to serve my greater purpose. And so then to be inspired by people, ideas, inspiration, access, money that will allow me to serve my greatest purpose in the world and to feel great and joy filled and happy and peaceful while doing it.
I hear you. That's wonderful desires of the future. Okay, if not today, within the next 7 days to an exact month, can I bother you for 3 people you think I should talk to in this interview segment?
Sure.
All right. And here's the ultimate piece for the true outcome. What can I, Zachary Shiloh, or Zachary Shiloh West, depending on the preference, do for you, my dear?
Well, I think you've done it. If you like the book, if you could write a review, if you like the podcast, if you would rate and review it, if you tell folks about it and they show up and they enjoy it and share it with friends, that's all that I would love to have you do for me.
All right. With that said, one goal, one aim, one road, one focus, and that is love. So even if I am venting, which I do at times, I am what they call passionate. I'm passionate about even these fools I live with. I'm passionate about her. I'm passionate about my writing. I'm passionate about my business. I'm passionate about general life. And I keep on saying this heavily with the roar and the fire, that we don't need no politicians, in my point of view. We just need each other. May it be man, may it be woman, may it be trans. Whatever we are, I think we all can get along. We just got to find that meaning. With that said, thank you all from the bottom of my heart. This was the general 702 episode of the Black Lions Airspace, the flotastic zone where love shines the brightest. This was the interview segment where Zachary Shiloh used to roam around the earth looking for guests. It's where universal grounding is partaken. And with that said, I shall see you the next time whenever there is a Black Lions domain. We shall see. I believe, next Wednesday or Thursday, next Thursday exact, we have a rescheduled BLD. One of my co-authors from Rebel Romance, the original Rebel Romance, is blessing me with an appearance. Hi, Theano Evangelo, my dear. Thank you very much for rescheduling, and we shall keep somehow. This meeting is adjourned, you beautiful Hunskins and loves.